So in this video I'm going to show you how to make the motifs for this lace collar. I'm going to start on the rose motif and show you how to make it. These motifs are not difficult to do, but one thing you need to take into account is that Megan Mills uses terms that you might not normally use for different stitches. So I'm going to go through the pattern with you and explain what the different terms are for the different stitches. I've made these motifs with number 10 thread and a 2mm hook, whereas if I bring them together, the collar itself was made with 80 thread and a 0.6 hook. As you can see, there's a large difference in size, so I reckon if you do make a collar with number 10 thread, you will need a lot less motifs. In my motif I needed 13, and I reckon with number 10 thread you need about 7. You do need to pick an odd number, because when you look at the end you end up with 2 rose motifs. So when you go to the website, you can see, click here for PDF instructions, click here for blocking instructions. So I click here on the PDF and she gives you an abbreviation of all the stitches she uses. What you need to note is when she says DC double crochet, she means a US single crochet, and an HTR half treble is a US double crochet, and a treble is a US double crochet. So you need to look at the description she makes of each stitch before you work, if you're used to using a different way of describing stitches. It's a very simple pattern and I'll work my way through it, and I will explain all the different stitches as I go along. So this is my number 10 thread, it's a cream, and my hook. And when you read the pattern it says start by forming a double loop and leave a tail 3 to 4 inches long for ease of handling. So I'm twisting the thread twice round my finger, I go under the 2 threads and pull through and chain 1. So that would be the start of my ring. The reason why we're starting this way and not with a chain is so that we have a smaller opening in the center. So we start off, it says chain 9. The next says make a double treble. So what she means by a double treble is a treble basically. So you wrap the thread round twice round your hook, you pop it into the center, you pull through once, pull through again and finish the stitch. So now chain 5 and make another double treble. We really need to repeat this 5 times, so we have 6 openings around the center. So the next step now is chain 5 and slip a stitch through the 4th stitch on the chain. Now I'll pull the thread to adjust the center. So this is the first row. So now the second row says work 1 DC, 1 HDR, 5 treble, 1 HDR, 1 DC. So translated into American stitches, it's 1 single crochet. So instead of a double crochet, it's a single crochet, 1 HDR, by which you mean 1 half double crochet. So to make a half double crochet, loop the thread round your needle once, go into the circle, pull the thread through, and then pull the thread through the 3 stitches at the same time, the 3 loops at the same time. So next 5 treble, by which in American terms would be 5 double crochet. Then again 1 HDR, which is 1 half double crochet, and 1 single crochet. So that forms 1 petal on the rose. So you work your way around now on all the chains. So I've worked my way round and I have 6 petals. Next she suggests to pull the thread through to the back from the first petal. So now the stitch is at the back of the work. So the next round is chain 1, make a DC, so that's a single crochet in American terms, on the post, and then chain 7, and make a DC or single crochet round the second post. So I'm going to do that up to the last. Now I've got the last chain to do. This time I'm going to chain 3 and make a double treble into this first single crochet I made. So I wrap the thread round twice, pull through once, pull through a second time, and pull through to the final part. So the reason to do this is so that we have a starting point between the 2 ends of the petals. So now we're going to make the second layer of petals, and she says make 4 trebles, so that would be doubles in American terms. So to do the first one, I'm going to chain 3, make a double, so thread through once, twice, then make a half treble, and then make a single crochet. So now I'm going to start on the second petal, and to do that I make 1 single, 1 half double, and 7 double. It gets so confusing with the different names of stitches. I got caught a few times. So now a half double, and then a single. So that's the second petal. So I'm going to work my way round up to the last petal. So now we've got to the last petal, which is only half a petal really. So to finish that one off, I do one single crochet, one half double and 3 double. So now I join it to the top, chain, and we have a full petal. So now we've got the 2 rows of petals. We go on to the next round, and that says chain 10 and make a single crochet in the middle of the next petal. And work your way round. I've just heard on the news that we've got a big storm coming tomorrow night. It's called Storm Hannah, and it doesn't sound as though it's going to be fun because they're expecting very strong winds and all the trees are now in leaf. So I'm hoping there won't be too much damage. So we're going to continue right up to the end. And then I make a little slip stitch in the last stitch. So the next line reads 1dc into space, chain 3. This will act as the first double treble of this cluster. So if we translate it into American terms, it's 1 single crochet into the next space, chain 3, and now make a double treble cluster. By double treble they mean a treble. So yarn over twice, pull through once, pull through a second time, but don't pull through the third time. Make another one, so now I've got 3 loops on the hook and I pull through. That's 1 cluster made. Chain 5, and then make another cluster. So again 3 trebles. So notice that this time I've got 4 loops on the hook. That's because the first one we started with a chain instead of a treble. So here I've also got the loop of the 5 chain. So what you need to do is chain 5 and put 4 clusters in each loop with 5 chain between. So there's 3 clusters. So I've got 4 clusters in 1 loop, so now I carry on, put 4 in each loop with 5 in between. So I've done the 4 clusters on each loop with 5 chains in between, and for the very last one between the last cluster and the first cluster, chain 1 and make a treble in the top of the first cluster. The reason why you do this is to have a starting point in the middle of the loop for the next row. So for the next row, make a single crochet into the loop and chain 5. And then just repeat that all the way around, so a chain 5 single crochet all the way around. So I'm going to make the last loop now, and again I'm going to chain 1 and make a double crochet into the first stitch. This is again to start in the middle of a loop for the next round. So for the last round, make a single crochet into the chain. We'll now make a picot, and to make the picot you chain 6, make a single crochet in the 4th chain, chain 4, make a single crochet in the 2nd chain, chain 3, and make a single crochet in the next loop, chain 5, and make a single crochet in the next loop. So now you're going to go around making a picot loop and an ordinary loop alternatively all the way around. So that was a picot loop. Now chain 5 and a single crochet in the next one. So now I'm going to work my way around. So here's the last loop. And here we have the first motif. The background is a soft wool shawl, so it's not too difficult to put the needles in the hook. It's very important to use stainless steel pins, because if you use ordinary ones they can rust and leave rust marks in your lace. In the next video I'll be making the daisy motif. As you can see, it's not too difficult.